Well, I just picked up another order to Burger King.
The Silver Dasher.
Good morning. It's Wednesday. I'm in the car and getting ready to start my breakfast dash. I'm going here and start the app and see how things go today. Yesterday was a good day, except for, unfortunately, for the last order of the day. If you've seen the previous video, you know what I'm talking about. I had a very angry customer. I tried to calm him down. I explained to him, but he wouldn't listen. So eventually I had to hang up on him because while I'm on the phone and I was driving. Look at there, first order. It's to Jack's.
Drive southeast. Then.
So, that's a good sign, good start. Yeah, but unfortunately, no matter what it was a stacked order. I had to go to Crystal's, that customer's order, pick up their food first, and then I had to go to Wingstop. And as I finished picking up Wingstop and I was heading to the Wingstop delivery, I got the call, and it's through the DoorDash app. You know, you see and it was a customer, and it was an elder. You know, that was an elderly gentleman. So, anyway, I explained in the previous video. Of course, that video would be up before, should be up by the time I put this video together. So anyway, it is what it is. But like I said, I'll repeat what I said. As a DoorDasher, if you get a belligerent customer or somebody who's angry, be calm and do the best you can to explain all that. But if they start, especially if they start cussing you, then you have the right to hang up on them or walk away. Yeah, definitely walk away if it's face to face. And then you call DoorDash support and explain to them what's happened. In fact, when I did, they're supposed to send me an email that if I choose to, I can file a police report. So I don't think I'm going to do that. He was just an angry old man. Ooh, a lot of fire trucks in that. So anyway, on to Jack's, to the first order. I'll see you in a little bit. Well, I just made that delivery to a neighborhood I've been to several times before. In fact, it's that order has now put me in a position, so I'm pretty close to the north side of the Gauntlet. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to head to the north side and come back down to drive to my normal parking area and see if I pick up an order on the way. So keep your fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. See you in a little bit. Well, I'm back. Unfortunately, I did not pick up an order on the Gauntlet. In fact, I got to my home base, so to speak, and waited 20 minutes. Then I finally got a Burger King order, and it's very small, $3, but it's only like, I think, a mile away. But something to do. Hopefully this will be a start to get a chain going. It's one of those things, it's kind of weird. I don't know if I get in a hot streak, so to speak, and then I thought I'll have a good start, a good order, and then it goes cold. Just cannot figure out how the DoorDash figures this out. So anyway, beggars can't be choosers. So I'm approaching Burger King. Go pick up that order, and we'll see you in a little bit. Well, I just delivered that Burger King order to an apartment complex that I've been to many times before. It's a nice little apartment complex. What I found unique about all the buildings are brick. So they seem to be pretty solid and pretty busy. And what's unique though about this one, I've never seen this before. They have a security camera as you come in, and it takes pictures of you coming in and leaving, so they know who comes in and who comes out, and they can tell. I assume they can tell who's resident or not, or who's delivering. So they keep track of who's coming in, and I think it's got a camera also. That's why. Hopefully, they take me as that I'm not a threat, because I got DoorDash logos on the side of my car. So anyway, quick little diversion, and a little money. So now I'm heading back to base. Hopefully to pick up an order real quick. So talk to you soon. Well, just about 10 seconds after I signed off on that last clip and got another order, I'm going back to Burger King, which it's fine. I'll take any order right now. Oh, I forgot to mention that very first order that I took from Jack's. I actually got a $2 tip out of that. That made me very happy. Lately I've been the tips are starting to grow. Of course, it could be just hit and miss, not just coincidence. But lately I've just been getting a lot more tips than usual. So anyway, I'm happy about that. So well, here I am at Burger King. I will see you in a little bit. Well, I just delivered that Burger King order, and surprise, surprise, I'm back at the retirement home that I came here yesterday. This is the one I talked about. There were donkeys on the side. In fact, still some they're like further up on the pasture. It's like the third or fourth time I've been here. It's very nice out here. It's kind of it's right off the interstate, but it's, just as you get off the interstate, then you take the first right, and it's in the middle of the woods. I mean, it's only about 100 yards off the main road here, and but it's surrounded by woods. It's very quiet, very peaceful. It's very nice, and it looks like the residents have their own apartments. And of course they have medical staff and all that for that stuff. But very nice area. So anyway, I'm slightly out of zone, so I'm getting back on the interstate and head back to our home base, so to speak, and see if I can pick up another order real quick. So see you in a little bit. Well, I just picked up an order. I was parked at home base right next to Starbucks, and within 5 minutes of here, I got a Starbucks order. In fact, where I'm going is the hospital that my house is next to. So I'm going to head over there and then stop by the house real quick for a bathroom break. So that's the convenience of living so close to the Gauntlet. So anyway, on my way to the order for the customer, and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, just dropped off that order. The hospital I've dropped off, in fact, that same customer many times. I think it's just a group of nurses, the emergency room nurses that get their morning pick me up, which is fine. And it's very popular. And the reason I like it, I live next door to it, and so make a quick pit stop because unfortunately for me, I'm diabetic, so I have to make frequent pit stops. And since I just happen to be convenient to be nearby the house, just going there. So anyway, since I do that real quick, and I'm going to head back to home base, so to speak, and see you in a little bit. Well, I just picked up an order from all places, McDonald's, the local one. I had one yesterday or the day before that I mentioned that for some, I haven't picked up a McDonald's orders in like 2-3 days. And then when I got one, it was for McDonald's in the next town, and it was for $3, and it says it's 12 miles, $3. Well, hell, that's 20 miles to get to that McDonald's in the first place. And so I refused that one. That lowered my acceptance. Well, I just now picked up order from the local McDonald's, which is the first time in like 3 or 4 days. The last time I was there, I had that issue with the the app says, please verify this order with their DoorDash equipment and all that. And then when I talked to them, they said their DoorDash equipment was not working and hadn't been working all day. And then lo and behold, DoorDash themselves canceled that order and I got half pay, which is great. But since then, this is the first order I'm going to do to pick up in 2-3 days. So, but I feel a lot better now because I had to make a quick pit stop at my house and back on the road. I was on the way to home base when I got that. It is 8:09 right now, so I got another 50 minutes for the DoorDash session. I'm doing pretty good. I'm right on par as I did yesterday, which was a good morning dash, at least for me in this area. So anyway, on the way to McDonald's to pick up that order, and so we'll see you in a little bit. Well, I just delivered that McDonald's order. It was short. I mean, it's like practically across the street, and it's a doctor's office. It's an ENT office that I used to go to, and I wonder where they moved. They moved right over here. This is an older neighborhood. It's a very nice neighborhood, but that one house is right on the edge of a shopping center, and they converted that house. It was ranch style lawn, and into an office, ENT office. So, and where their location is, it's perfect. It's just right there, right on the edge of that shopping center. It's right nestled in the woods and very peaceful. So anyhow, and just as I was delivering, picked up another order back to Burger King. It's funny that one of the employees say, well, hope you have a good day. I hope you get plenty of orders and hope you have to come here a lot. So far, her prediction is true. This is my third trip this morning back to Burger King. So I'm not complaining. So anyway, be back in a little bit. Well, I just made that delivery to a nice neighborhood, not far from Burger King. It was only about a mile away. And I think I've delivered to this house before. It seems to be familiar. But yeah, things to be going smoothly right now. It is a little cooler today. We've been mostly overcast, with some breaks in the cloud. According to car, it's 74 degrees outside, which I can take all day long. I looked at the future weather forecast. It's going to be in mid 80s for the rest of the week. Next week maybe a little cooler. In fact, we may start getting rain. I will work in the rain, but if it's gully washer, second coming of Noah in a boatload of animal type weather, I ain't doing it. Especially, and if it's lightning, no, I did that. When I first started doing door dashing, there was a day like that, and it was like thunder, lightning. No, I'm in it. I'm going home. There's some things. In fact, one day on dashing, this is when I first started. If you remember seeing my videos, well, maybe not. When I first started doing door dashing, I wore a white hat and a red polo shirt, and I always wear a t-shirt underneath. I've learned that from my dad, because he was in the military. He always wore a t-shirt underneath because when you sweat and all that, your t-shirt absorbs all the sweat and that and doesn't ruin your shirt. So I've always, with a polo shirt, I always wore a t-shirt, regular crew t-shirt underneath. Well, anyway, the point of the story is it was one day, it just kind of drizzled, just all day. Not really heavy rain, just kind of drizzled. And so I just, took it, with the cap, it protected my face. So I, went on the DoorDash. In fact, the very first DoorDash I went to was out of town, and it was raining pretty heavily. So I got somewhat soaked on that morning. But I kept going. By the time I was finished with the lunch, and I took my shirt off, my white T-shirt was now a red T-shirt. The dye from my red polo shirt had soaked into the white T-shirt. I said, man. So yeah, that was a wet day. So anyway, heading back to base, just outside Starbucks, and hopefully I can pick up another order. It's 8:40. I got about 20 minutes left on this breakfast dash. I hope to pick up one more order. If I don't, I'll see you back at the house. So see you in a little bit. Well, I just picked up another order to Burger King. Looks like that employee wish is coming true. This is like the fourth, fifth. I have to look at one because this is going to be my last dash for breakfast. It's 8:45, and by the time I get going, it's like 5 miles or something like that. By the time I get back, it'll be over. But yeah, for breakfast. But like I said, I'll take it. Beggars can't be choosers. And I was at my regular home base next to Starbucks, but the thing is, Burger King's just across the street, so makes it real easy. So yeah, it's funny how things work out that way, and I like it. I like it to work out that way. So anyway, I'm at the stoplight, getting ready to cross the street to go to Burger King. So I'll see you in a little bit. Well, I just delivered that last Burger King order to a business that I've delivered for, to the same customer I delivered for. When I first tried it, it was real awkward because the app shows me that the delivery is like way out in the middle of a parking lot, but it's not right. But the business is right next to the parking lot. He was waiting outside. So this time around, sure enough, app wants me to deliver out in the parking lot, but I knew he'd be waiting by the entrance of the building. So that's what it did, sure enough. So he remembered me and I remembered him. It was a good time. So that, and when in the future, when the app is good, but it's not perfect. So what I have to do is when it won't let me set it up to complete because it thinks I'm outside the delivery zone, I have to contact. I go ahead and give the food to the customer. Then I have to contact support. Now, I used to call, but for some reason that their call center, it's real tedious. It tells you, the voice says, please follow the app, the instructions, all that. And so no. So you have the option to do a chat through text, and I guess it's AI generated. So I type in, app will not allow me to complete order, and it gives me questions. Was this an alcohol delivery? No. And sure enough, and they say, okay, we'll mark this as complete. Now they always give me a warning. If the customer claims that I did not deliver, it'd be a mark on my record. But so far, not knock on fake wood here, that hasn't happened yet. And I hope not. So anyway, well, that's the last order of my breakfast dash. I am now heading home. So I will give a summary of this morning dash as soon as I get home. So see you in a little bit. Well, I'm back home, and I had a very good breakfast dash, better than yesterday. A total of $41.72. I did 7 deliveries, total time for 2 hours and 54 minutes. Of those 7 orders, 4 were from Burger King. So yeah, majority of the orders from Burger King. So that employees' well wishes worked out well this morning. And I told her, I hope it continues on when I do the lunch dash. So anyway, going to take a break, a couple hours, going to eat an early lunch, and I'll see you here on the lunch dash. See you in a little bit. Welcome back. It's starting time for my lunch dash. Hopefully it will be continuing the good orders I was getting, or the good, constant orders I was getting during breakfast. The breakfast dash made quite a good, really good, like $41, something like that. That was better than yesterday. Still not my best, but still above average. So anyway, let's start the Dash app. It's asking, do I have an insulated bag? Yes, I do. I'm getting a lot of questions like that, or it verifies, once it verified, do I have an insulated bag, which I do, and also it verifies if I have a pizza bag, which I do. So, all right, let's get started, and hopefully we can pick up an order real soon. So, anyway, see you in a little bit. Well, didn't have to wait long. I was on my way to my parking station and picking up an order from Chick-fil-A. So it's always a good start to get an order that quick.
Drive north on Martin Street North.
So that's where I'm heading, and go pick it up, and I'll see you in a little bit. I just made that delivery to a very nice neighborhood, and these folks they're ready for Halloween. Their entire yard is covered in the inflatable Halloween decorations. And this is a big neighborhood. In fact, there are several. This is a group of subdivisions all next to each other, and this one is about the same size as the subdivision I was in. Like I said, it's flat. It's got sidewalks. I bet you they get a ton of kids in this neighborhood. And there's there's several other subdivisions. They're all kind of related to one big area, but there's like 3 or 4 subdivisions right next to each other, with each subdivision having about 300 houses. So this would be Halloween Central when the time comes. And already, there I can see a lot of houses already with Halloween decorations and ready to go. And so, yep, it is. It's already October. Still warm here. It's 82 right now. The clouds have cleared up, so it's mostly clear skies. So it's going to get a little warmer. Hence, I brought 2 Gatorades. So anyway, done with that. So I'm heading back to the station, and hopefully pick up another order here real soon. In the meantime, see you in a little bit. And there we go. Just after I signed off on the last clip, picked up an order from McDonald's. This is twice today, so maybe they finally got their DoorDash app working at this particular McDonald's. It's a small order, just over $3, but it's only a mile away. So like I said, I got to continue to accept all the offers I can to kind of bring back my acceptance rate up. So anyway, head to McDonald's, and I'll see you in a little bit. Well, I just made that delivery. It's to an older neighborhood. Even though the yard of the house is in kind of poor shape, but the condition of the house itself is in very good condition. Surprisingly, wasn't anything broken, dilapidated. So anyway, on to the next order, and heading back to base and see what happens. And hopefully I'll get another order here real soon. So see you in a little bit. Welcome back. I'm just parked at my base station here for lunch, and I just picked up a order from Zaxby's, which is just right over there. And so slowly but steady, getting these orders in. So anyway, heading to Zaxby's, and see you in a minute. I just made that delivery. I delivered it over here. It's a veterans home. It's a big facility. It's very nice. It's one of the biggest I've seen, and it's sprawled out. You know, my father, he was in the military. He was in the Army for 30 years, and I'm somewhat grateful that we didn't have to put him in a veterans home. I'm not knocking the veterans home because it is needed for our veterans. But my dad was in somewhat good health and was able to have a couple jobs after retiring from the military. Unfortunately, he passed away in the hospital after having back surgery. Yeah, that was unfortunate. And then I took care of my mom, and then my mom died in the hospital after surgery for a gallbladder removal, but she didn't die of infection. She caught COVID and died in the hospital. Never made it home of COVID. That was hard. That was hard to take. But my mom survived my dad about 5 years. Towards the end, you know, she was ready to go. She didn't want to go. Didn't want to go to nursing home. So we eventually tried to hire, a sitter to help her, but she didn't want the sitter either. So my mother was very stubborn. But towards the end, I think, when she went to the hospital, she had a feeling that she was not leaving. But yeah, that was a regret. And back then, because she was in the COVID ward in the hospital, I couldn't see her. And I was very grateful for the nurse that took care of her. And she told me they should, nurses know when a patient is going to be gone, is going to go. And she talked with me on the phone and showed my mother a couple hours before she passed. And so I was grateful for that. So, anyway, enough for doom and gloom. Heading back to base, so to speak, and hopefully pick up another order here real soon. So, see you in a little bit. Well, I just got parked in my base station area and then just picked up an order for Freddy's, which is right behind me. So, gonna go get the order and see you in a little bit. Well, I just delivered that. Almost a disaster. Very nice gentleman. They live off in the woods. Very nice house. Got all the toys. Got RV, boat, pool, golf carts. He's got a big property here. We got to talking. He had a poodle, and we're talking about poodles. My family had a poodle and growing up, and then gave him the food and all that, and I drove off and forgot to give him his drink. And before I left the driveway, I turned around, came back. I apologized. He said, understood. He said, I gave him his drink. So yeah, got a little distracted there. Gotta be careful, be a little bit more mindful about that. But I have to be careful because, when I meet people, I'm trying to be friendly, courteous, share some stories, especially when we were sharing, the stories about our poodle, and because there was something in common between us. Almost disaster, but he fully understood because, it wasn't 10 seconds. I realized, wait a minute, there was supposed to be a drink. And I immediately turned around right in the middle of his driveway and came back. So, no harm, no foul. So, anyway, heading back to base. And see if I can get another order here real quick. So, in the meantime, see you in a little bit. Well, I made it to base and was sitting there for about a minute. Then a new order came in. This time we're going to Jersey Mike's. And it's a small order, but small distance. Like I said before, I'm to the point where I'm trying to take every order. But it is now getting really warm again. I've already finished off one Gatorade and I've started on the second one. And it's only 12:15. I still got 3 more hours to go. If it keeps going like it is, I might have to acquire another Gatorade. Either go back to my house or pick one at a gas station. So, anyway, yeah, it's, a few clouds in the sky and the sun's out. Car says it's 85, but it's going to get warmer. So heading to Jersey Mike's. I'll see you in a little bit. Well, I just made that delivery. And I came back to the apartment complex that I think it was yesterday, or maybe it was the day before. Well, I had an almost disaster. The app sent me to the wrong building, but this time the delivery instructions were very clear what building number and what apartment number. So I went back to the building I wasn't supposed to go to, but it was the correct building this time. So yeah, I have to be more mindful about that. App is not quite accurate. And in fact, I was watching another Dasher's YouTube channel, and he was explaining, he went to, recently DoorDash was having these events, but they're at major cities, like San Francisco, New York, and that type of thing. And they were having a special event for DoorDashers to come, and they were explaining some of the new features that are coming to the DoorDash app. Look very interesting. One is they're having a widget so you can make schedule changes like on your iPhone without actually being in the app. Other thing is the mapping is going to be improved, and they said, I guess this is more of a problem in major cities, when people live in huge apartment complexes. It's going to be a little bit more detailed within the 100 feet of the delivery area. So if you're ever in an apartment complex, it'll tell you, what hallway, breezeway, it'll show you everything. Out here in the rural, we have, the tallest apartment complex we got is 2 stories tall, and that's about it. But I can see that being a major problem in major cities, when you have huge apartment complexes. And the other thing that was very interesting, they're going to have what they call flash dashes or something like that, flash offers. And you don't have to be logged in or anything like that. You just happen, you're just sitting at home watching TV or something like that, and then boom, a big flash dash will come up, and it could be like a big order, like $23, for example, and you can accept it or decline it. But the thing is, declining it will not go against your acceptance rating. So, which I find it very unique. And then another issue was another thing I can't remember, where there's some other deal being added to the Crimson Card. I'm not very familiar with all that. So anyway, that's coming in next year. They said it's 2026. Then new enhancements to the DoorDash app. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. I hope to see it improve the, especially the mapping. Because I've had some issues. My major problem with the issues I have is when you're delivering somewhere and it tells you your delivery zone is here and winds up actually being on the other side of the street or in the middle of the parking lot, and the person is like inside the front door or something like that. And especially when the customer is required, customer gives you a PIN number. That app, once I put in the PIN number and if I'm out of zone, it will not continue. It'll just sit there, and you hit accept, continue. It won't do it. So, I'm just forced to give the food to the customer, and then I have to text in support and say, please complete this order. The app does not let me do it. I hope they fix that issue. So, anyway, heading back to base, looking for my next order. So, see you in a little bit. Oh, that was pretty quick. I had just pulled into my parking spot, and then I got an order for Wendy's, and just right over there. So, on my way to Wendy's. So, see you in a little bit. Well, I just made that delivery, which I am thankful for this delivery because it's back to the hospital that I live in right next to. So that gives me opportunity to make a pit stop and also pick up another Gatorade because I'm already halfway through this one. So this is brutal. This is a 3 Gatorade day. I hope it's not a 4 Gatorade day. So, but yeah, this time I did not go to the emergency room, went to the other side of the main entrance, and I went back up to the 2nd floor this time. The last time I was here, I was delivering just to the front desk right there on the main floor. But went to what they call it the second secretary desk, but it's actually there's a nurse's desk and there's a patient's floor there. So anyway, heading to the house real quick for a pit stop and another Gatorade. So I'll see you in a little bit. Well, I left my house, did the pit stop, picked up another Gatorade, but now I just got to the my parking area, and I just got an order from Wingstop. So that's where I'm heading. It's across the interstate, but it doesn't take long to get there. So we will be there in a minute. So I'll see you in a minute. It is a long ass walk to this place. It's an apartment complex. I used to live in an apartment complex, but I lived on the bottom floor. I believe this guy's on the top floor. Not only top floor, but he's in the back of the unit. You might just try and move stuff around, carry furniture not only around the building, but up the stairs. Ugh. Glad I don't do that anymore. But that was in my younger years. I believe I've delivered to this person before. Yeah, the app's telling me I'm in the wrong position, but I'm not. Alright, another thing I hate about this is these steep stairs. I'm old. I've slipped a couple times in the stairs in our house, and I had to install anti-slip on the steps. So every time I go down our stairs, I definitely hang on to the hand railing. So, whew. Alright, that order's done. Alright, on to the next one. Well, I just made that delivery to apartment complex. I think I've been to this gentleman's apartment before, and these are nice apartments, but man, to get up to the 2nd floor, those stairs are steep. Not only steep, but this gentleman was in the back of the building where you park up front. It's a long walk around, and I can imagine. But yeah. But the good news part is I am now at the north end of the Gauntlet. So I'm gonna make my way through the Gauntlet. He's not even looking. Not even looking. Not even looking. Going back to I'm at the north part of the Gauntlet. I'll head south to my base station and see if I can pick up an order on the way down there. If not, I'll just have to park again. So anyway, see you in a little bit. Well, success on the Gauntlet. I just picked up an order. It's not a food order. It's a liquor order. And there's only one liquor store in the area that does this. And so far, this may be an order that I never delivered to before, because the last 4 times I've picked up an order from this place, no, 3 times, it was the same customer. Now, my very first one was a different customer, but the last 3 has been the same customer. But I just delivered to him 2 days ago, and I talked to him, and he's a government worker. He works from home. He's in security. I think he's in cybersecurity. So now I'm on my way to the liquor store. As I remember, that brings an interesting point. Last night I went to pick up some food for my wife and I, and it was actually on Bojangles. And local police officers came in. I just brought up a conversation because my dad was, for most of his career in the military, was a military police officer. So we just got to talking and all that, and they asked me, I told them I was door dashing, and they said they pulled over a DoorDash the other night. But one of the police officers said one of his friends does DoorDash, but he moved here recently. But he was door dashing down Florida, and from my understanding, what he's telling me, Florida does not allow door dashing for liquor, but here in the state of Alabama you can. So that was very interesting. So and this police officer, his friend, was surprised too. But like I said, you have to be 21 years old to pick up liquor, at least here in this state. So on the way to the liquor store, and we'll see you in a little bit. I just dropped off the liquor order. Very nice lady. What makes this drop off unique is yesterday I dropped off an order that was for a customer directly across the street from them. And the reason I recognize it, because I think I mentioned in the video, the neighborhood's got all the the Halloween decorations. Well, her house was the house with all the decorations, and I remember distinctly, she had her husband or either a son or something like that. He was out flying a drone, and so that was a happy coincidence. So now that I'm here in this town, I just got picked up an order for Jack's, but the local Jack's here, which I've done it a couple times. Now this is going to be interesting. Starting tomorrow, this town is off the interstate, across a bridge that crosses a major waterway where I live. Well, they've been posting starting tomorrow. They are closing one of the lanes. It's a interstate, one of the lanes on the bridge, and which is going to cause a major backup, for miles if you're going from this town back to my town. So I'm gonna have to plan, if I do get an order out here and I don't pick up another order like I just did now, I'm gonna have to find a different route back home, because the recommended route that they posted is what I would have taken when they had it, but everybody and their uncle is going to take that route. So I'm going to find a route to go back to town on this side, and I think I know I can, because I think I can get to the road that eventually goes to the north side of the Gauntlet. So not all is lost, just take it one day at a time. I think it's going to be they're going to be working on that bridge for at least a week, maybe 2. So we will see, and come join me on the adventures if that happens, and then we'll see how that works out. So anyway, I'm on to Jack's, which is actually the next exit up the interstate, and I'll see you in a little bit. Well, I delivered that food from Jack's in this area. So I'm doing a little experiment. In fact, the customer, very nice young lady, was She had a young 4 little kittens, 2 of them calicos. I love calicos. My very first cat was a calico. I named her Callie. There's a mother and 4 little kittens. They're semi-feral. So I had to take pictures. I'll share the pictures. I'm a softie for kitty cats. All my adult life I had kitty cats. I grew up with our family. We grew up with a poodle as a family pet. But when you move out and you live in an apartment, Callie, that my first cat, Callie, she was a cat that just hung around the parking lot of the apartment complex I lived. So I adopted her, brought her in, and I had her for several years. And unfortunately, she got a little old and got a little sick, and I had to put her to sleep. That devastated me. You know, having put any animal that you love to sleep, you know, but you know, it's part of life and part of as being a pet owner. You gotta remember, you may only love them for a little bit, but they love you for their entire life. So anyway, but my experiment is, since I'm doing it now, is I'm going to see if I can find a route from this side or this further up back to my town, to the north side of the Gauntlet. And according to the Google Maps, there is a route. And in fact, the roads that I'm going on, I've been on before, delivering to customers out here. So I'm very familiar with some of the roads. So if by chance I get an order out here and I don't get to pick up an order around this area, I know how to find a route back to base via the Gauntlet. So that's the route I'm taking right now, and I got 45 minutes left for this session. This has been a little slower than yesterday, but still, pretty decent. I've been taking every order that's been given to me. Some were good paying, but the mileage is about the same, $10 for 10 miles, that type of thing. But trying to up my acceptance and also trying to up my delivery times too. That last one took dinged me a little bit because I was in the interstate. I was one town further, one exit down, and told me to come up here. Well, it took me a while to get up here to get the order and then come over here. So anyway, so now I'm going to start this new route back to where I live and hit the north end of the Gauntlet. So hopefully I get to pick up an order or two before the session ends today. So I'll see you in a little bit. Well, that little experiment worked out pretty well. I was able to get back into my zone, even though it's the most southern part of it, within 10 minutes from that location. So this alternate route, instead of going the recommended route that I know that everybody and their brother is going to take, I can take this route and be in my zone within 10 minutes. So I think I found a way to handle the situation, at least for the next 2 weeks, if by chance I get sent out here and I can't find another order. So anyway, I'll be hopefully within 5 minutes or so I'll be approaching the northern end of the Gauntlet. So, and it's now 2:26, so I just got a little over 30 minutes left for this dash. The dash is okay, not as good. I don't think as good as it was yesterday, but I take it. Like I said, beggars can't be choosers. So I'm approaching, getting ready to approach the northern end of the Gauntlet, and hopefully we pick up an order. So see you in a minute. Well, I went through the Gauntlet, went into the parking spot, and just as I was parking, got an order come up. It's a stacked order. I kind of hate to take it, but like I said, I'm still trying to get my acceptance. It's a little over $10, but it's 22 miles.
Turn left onto Little John Drive.
But I'm going to Walgreens are over here to pick up some items, and then I go to a pet store, pick up some items, and then see we're there. So, but it's it's $10. I can always definitely like I said before, beggars can't be choosers, especially in the rural area that I live. There's not much. It's not like I'm in a big city where there's a million people and with a million orders. Of course there's a million drivers. So we'll see what happens to see how this works. This is very similar to the other day where my last order was pick up at Walgreens, and I wind up taken to that very sad place, that mobile home that was overgrown. So anyhow, hope it doesn't wind up being like that again. So anyway, I'll see you in a little bit. Well, this is irony. The order that I just accepted, it's $10, 22 miles, delivered. It is the same address of that sad place that I went to the other day. And what I thought was adult diapers, it's not. It's a little bit worse. It's underpayment covers. And my mother, I had to get a hospital bed put in the living room. It's for somebody who is bedridden, and you put this underneath them to catch the bodily fluids of a person who's basically bedridden. So the other day when I picked up 3 of those, I'm picking up 10 of those. 10 packs of 30. So that's 300 underlayments. And part of that order now, I'm going to a pet store to pick up a bunch of stuff. I think it's all going to the same address. So, but I do have a different camera. I will show you what I'm talking about. If there's nobody there to pick it up or to accept it, because last time it was a drop off at the door. Because I don't want to film anybody, because I don't want, without their permission, I don't want to do that. So that's why you see a few of my deliveries. I'm doing a new experiment where you see me delivering the food, but I only do it when it's only a drop off at the door. If it's a hand to a person, I don't film it. So, interesting way to end. 2 times or the second day to end it this way. But like I said, it is an order. I'm going getting paid, even though it's a little bit further out. It will help my total for the day. And like I said, beggars can't be choosers. So I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, I'm back. Haven't made the deliveries yet because this stacked order just got weirder. The first order I picked up is, unfortunately, I'm doing it, I'm going to do it, is delivering those underpads to that gentleman that the other day, what I said was a very sad environment. The other 2 orders were from PetSmart, and those 2 orders are to 2 different people. Okay, that was fine. One of them is a pet water bottle, no problem. But the third one is 40 live crickets. That's a new one for me. That may be a new one for a lot of people. And no, I'm not putting the crickets in my hot box. They're down here in the floorboard, keeping it cool. So I'm not that stupid. That's a matter of opinion with this order. But like I said, I didn't want to ruin my acceptance rate was pretty low, and this was definitely my last order. It's already past 3 o'clock, So I will tell you this, if I see an order from Walgreens again, I may not take it no matter what, because it seems like Walgreens is the only ones that are doing this type of delivery of this type of product. So anyhow, I'm stuck in traffic, and let's see which direction the all right, it's telling me to go a certain way. I'm gonna be honest, I think I'm gonna go the interstate, because I told you that place is near where our old house is, and interstate's a lot faster, and I know that main road, so I'm gonna go that route instead, because my first stop is to the gentleman that I went to the other day. So all right, we'll see how this works out. And this is going to be my last order, so when I come back, I will do a summary of the day. So I'll see you in a little bit. You see what I mean by this? It's overgrown. Very interesting. I will ask everyone who's seen this to please pray for these folks. Please pray for this gentleman that lives here. Like I said, you don't know their circumstances, you don't know how this came to be, or they did it by choice, or circumstances brought them to this, but I ask you to pray for this person, because they surely need it. There we go. All set. All right. Got it. Make sure I take a picture. Take a photo. There you go. Complete delivery. Alright, on to the next one. And I believe this is the live crickets. This is a first for me. Now there's a bunch of live crickets around here. The only thing I was worried about is to walk upon the snake. And this is snake country. My wife would get mad at me if I get bit by a snake. So, anyhow, glad that's done. I wish them well, and please pray for this person. All right, on to the next one. Okay, the 50 live crickets. Delivering those 3 orders from that stack or dash. The first order was to that sad place. The next order, 40 live crickets, was to a happy place. You're not going to believe this. That house, the second order that I delivered to, is in a subdivision that's only 200 yards away from that sad place. Wow, what a contrast. The third order is a little bit further out, but it was also a nice small subdivision. Boy, what a contrast of environments and livelihood in this one DoorDash order. Once again, you know, if you've been following me and watching this, and I encourage you, please pray for that gentleman. I know it has to be a gentleman because it's a gentleman's name, and his family. So, anyway, that's the end of the day. So, I'm now heading home. It's a little longer. This is probably the furthest I've been out from home. But I wanted to try that DoorDash that was not food, so hopefully I get more of those orders, but if I do, I need a little bit more careful. So, but I'm also to the point where I gotta take everything. So, anyway, head back to the house. I'll give a summary of the today's dash when I get there. So, see you in a little bit. Well, I'm back home. This was a little longer day. That last order took longer than, and I knew it, and I took a chance. And the reason I took the dash, well, 2 reasons. One, I didn't want to cancel to ruin, I'm trying to build up my acceptance rate. But 2, that amount would have put me over $100 for the day. That's always a goal I'm trying to do. But it was a decent day. This morning was really good. The morning dash was better than yesterday's. And let me see, was today's no. Today's lunch thing dash was not as good as yesterday, but it was decent. I wound up with a total of $72.36. I had 10 offers, took all 10, and did 12 deliveries. That's because of that last order was stacked. My orders ran the gambit. I don't think I ever went to any place. Yeah, every order that I went to was a different place. No doubles. So that's interesting. So anyway, long day. Hope you like this video. Please click like on the videos to help build the channel. And if you like what I'm doing with these videos, I encourage you to please subscribe and click on the notification bell. You can click on the little icon on the lower right to subscribe. I'm going to do one more day of dashing, but I will not be dashing tomorrow. I'm taking my wife to work, so we can do this be down to one car and use her car, because I'll be going back to pick her up later, because tomorrow is a school dance, and so I agreed to help my wife be chaperones at the dance. So that's going to be interesting. But so I will dash again on Friday. Just to let you know, I'm still working on the video from yesterday where I had the belligerent customer. I should have that done tonight, and it'll be posted in 24 hours. So again, thank you for coming along with me. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. And if you have any comments or suggestions, please comment and suggest below. And I will see you again. For me, it'd be Friday. So enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you later.